Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TCS TechBytes, a fantastic quiz organized by the Board for IT Education Standards Karnataka and Tata Consultancy Services. TCS is a leading IT services, consulting and business solutions organization that has always supported knowledge initiatives such as this. TCS TechBytes is an initiative to help students understand technology better and in the process help them enhance their lateral thinking, inculcate a spirit of competition and drive to excel. From its humble beginnings in 2010, the quiz has since gone on to become the premier platform to enhance awareness and confidence levels of aspiring engineers while ensuring they stay in sync with the newest developments from the world of technology. Presenting the quiz finale, as always, is one of the world's leading quiz hosts, PickBrain. An alumnus of Harvard Business School, he has hosted over 3,000 shows in his career across 9 countries. He is the only quiz host in the world to have hosted quizzes at the iconic Royal Opera House in London. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, the one and only PickBrain.
A big hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you from me, PickBrain. You're with me here today at TCS TechBytes, a fantastic collaborative initiative between Tata Consultancy Services and the Board of IT Education Standards from the Government of Karnataka. This has been a pioneering effort which has crossed well over a decade to ensure that our students of engineering from this state are competent, well-prepared, and well-equipped to enter the workforce of this nation. Karnataka has been a leading contributor to the human capital of this nation and beyond. And one of the key people behind that has been the Tata Group and Tata Consultancy Services in particular. They're also among the largest recruiters in Karnataka for especially engineering talent is TCS. So a quiz like this, which prepares these youngsters for the future before they actually get there, becomes all the more important. It's also a quiz that has taken them beyond the boundaries of their normal confinements of thinking, knowledge, and information management. It tests them on how far they can stretch their limits of knowledge. How far have they gone beyond their academic requirements? It is therefore a quiz which challenges them to challenge their own boundaries of learning. It has been an absolute privilege and a pleasure for me to be part of this quiz for over a decade now, as these wonderful youngsters come through this system or through such platforms to shape their careers and shape their future. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, after wonderful rounds through this journey, which we shall capture here through this quick synopsis, from Mysuru to Hubli, Kalaburgi, Mangaluru, Tumkur, and Bengaluru, we've had multiple regional rounds after the initial technology rounds, which have enabled thousands and thousands of students take part to reach where we are today, the state final of TCS TechBytes. I'd like to take a moment to thank and appreciate young Rashmi Furtado, an alumnus of NITK Surathkal, one of the colleges that took part, for taking us through all the regional rounds today, till today, and anchoring this quiz right across the state rounds with her own flair and her confidence. Truly appreciate a young talent in her as we congratulate these wonderful 6 champions from the respective regional rounds. Well, they've not reached here without accolades or without prizes, but here is what is at stake for these 6 champions before I introduce them to you. at stake here today. The winner will take a TCS Education Scholarship of rupees 85,000, and that is huge. The runner-up gets a scholarship of 50,000, while all the other finalists will take a scholarship of 10,000 each. Apart from that, of course, they get certified for their positions in the quiz, and of course, quizzes like this really matter to them when they seek to move forward either for employment or further education in their careers. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, who are these 6 who've gone through these grueling rounds digitally, and then with Rashmi digitally again, and now with me in this big final? Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we meet them, let me just take a moment. Technology has played such a fabulous role in this world over the last 2 years. It's been the most unpredictable and perhaps the most difficult that we've seen in our lifetimes. Unpredictable because it came in at a global scale as a pandemic. What it required was innovation and the ability to quickly adapt. Reactions don't help, responses help. And the response was led by the world of information technology and technology at large. Technology moved from merely being a support and an architect for enabling businesses to touching human lives. Whether it was in the hospitals or in our schools, it was technology which came to the rescue to ensure that the pandemic did not stop what we were doing with our lives, except we started doing it more from our homes, including quizzing. Quizzing has exploded globally. I stand in the studios every other day hosting quizzes. My contestants are no longer from the city I stand in. I have contestants from all over the world who take part here today, from literally across the length and breadth of the state of Karnataka. So it is our moment here today as we celebrate 75 years of Indian independence, celebrate the fact that perhaps the pandemic is behind us with some caution. But ladies and gentlemen, it is the field of technology that we owe our gratitude to, among others, for having brought us ahead and beyond the pandemic. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, time for us to take a look at 6 worthy champions from across the regional rounds who've qualified into this prestigious state final. Let me begin with the historic city of Mysuru. Representing them here today as a champion from Mysore, from the equally prestigious National Institute of Engineering, or NIE in Mysore, let's welcome our first contestant, Aditya Hegde. Neighboring Aditya as our second champion from the educational hub of Belgaum and Dharwad, representing the KLE Seshagiri College, is Dheeraj. Welcome to you. Neighboring Dheeraj as our third contender here today from Vijaypura, from the BLED EACET, is Ayman Patel. Welcome to you. Neighboring him as the Kalburgi champion's neighbor from the fantastic and beautiful landscapes of Udupi is our champion from the coastal region of Karnataka, representing the Madhavadiraj Institute for Technology and Management, Satvik Kumar. Welcome to you. Representing our fifth slot here today in the state final from the city of Tumkuru is Rohit Kumar, who's from BMS Institute of Technology and Management. Welcome to you. Our final contender here today from the city of Bengaluru, representing the prestigious RV College of Engineering. Welcome, Manjunath. Manjunath Nayak. Here he is. Those then, ladies and gentlemen, are 6 finalists who've all won their respective regions as champions. So this battle is to find a champion among champions. Well, we've certainly paid a tribute to all our people who've partnered to ensure that this quiz is a huge success. Let me finally offer one word to Bytes, a board for IT education standards from Karnataka. It has really been a pioneer institution of sorts, which has set standards and benchmarks to ensure that as a state, we produce engineers who are top-notch quality engineers, who do not focus merely on academics, but also on research, also on development, also on design thinking, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and are always ahead of the curve. That's been the key focus of Bytes. I do know a lot of people, eminent people, who find their time to guide Bytes and therefore guide young engineering students across Karnataka. Hats off to Bytes for a fantastic idea like this, and to TCS, of course, for their continued patronage of knowledge platforms wherever they exist in this country, especially here in Karnataka with this forum for engineering students. Time for us to get straight into the contest. Let me get into the mode that I'm more familiar playing the rules of the game. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be playing across 4 spectrums that is going to be defining the future of you youngsters, from whiteboarding to design thinking, from digital dashboards to infographic knowledge. All questions on the buzzer. 50 the value. You get it right, you get a 50. You get it wrong, you lose 50. And 5 seconds is what you have for every question. So if we are ready and good to go with our big final here today, it is time for us to get started with the first frontier of this big state final, time for whiteboarding. Here it is. All of you, hands on the buzzer. First question to kickstart the state final, 50 the value. Here it is. I am an English word which comes from 2 Greek words. Ayman's gone for it. Go ahead, Ayman.
Technology.
Oh, superbly answered. Greek words for art, skill, craft, and the manner in which one or the other means utterance of inward thought that is getting expressed is technology. Absolutely perfect. Ayman off to a flash start from Vijayapura, from the BLD College of Engineering and Technology. He gets the first 50. As we move to the next one on your screens, now, who owns Satvik's gone for it?
With IBM.
Is correct. Oh, he's got a 3-block clue there. He's got that absolutely right. The weather company is a very interesting investment that IBM made. And these are the kind of companies where technology actually stood by us in a big way, not just to report weather, but also to speak of human weather in a sense, as companies like this and technology played a big role in companies helping humankind to really brace with the pandemic. I wouldn't want to say battle with the pandemic. We actually embraced the pandemic and kind of dealt with it. As we go to the next one, on your screens, now. It's the world's first cognitive intelligence television.
Sony.
Manjunath, Ayman on the buzzer. Yes, Ayman?
Sony.
Sony is what he goes for. He's really quick with the 4-letter answer. I think he clearly knew what his X are, and he gets a 50 again. Ayman is super quick on the buzzer. He moves to 100 in this final. And we get on to question number 4 as the next one comes up on your screens. If you could just hold your buzzers up, super quick on the answers are our contenders as we go to the next question coming up now. What is a PVE mode? And Ayman's gone for it. Yes, Ayman.
Player versus environment.
What happens in that?
In this, we basically do not play with players. We play with the surroundings. We particularly like that. Along with the
Excellent. He not only knew the expansion, he knew what it means and what it stands for. Player versus environment in a gaming platform. It's a state final. You would expect the quality to be the way you are witnessing it. These are not moderate questions. These are just excellent contenders. as we refresh the buzzers and move to our next question. Ayman's blazing off. Careful on the next one on your screens now. The Lempel-Welch compression algorithm, Satvik has gone for this one. Yes, Satvik. What format came about?
Graphical interchange format.
Graphical interchange format. That is what is on your screen. Minus 50 to you. Well, from the GIF format resulted another format, which is what I was talking about. I would have given you information, but he went for the buzzer. The answer is the portable network graphic format, which is easily known to all of us as the PNG format. So he'll take a negative on that one. Ayman on 150. The rest are bracing up their scores as we go to the sixth question in this first frontier. It's a fast-paced state final. Here's the next one. All you got to tell me is which big company Dheeraj has gone for it. Yes, Dheeraj.
Facebook.
Is correct. Can I have that again?
Facebook.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. He's got that right. He's got his calculations of the number of letters also done very quickly. And he is on his first 50, is Dheeraj, while Satvik has gained and lost the 50 that he had. As we clear the buzzers and move to our next question. Question number 7 on your screens now. Interface managers got to be known in the world by a different name. Rohit has gone for it. Yes, Rohit. What do you think of it?
Windows.
Tumkur. Yes, Rohit.
Windows. Windows.
Is correct. He's got that absolutely right, is Rohit. Windows will get the young lad from Tumkur off to a 50. Tumkur region, well, he's not necessarily Tumkur, but Tumkur region. He's on 50. Dheeraj is on 50. Ayman is in the lead. As we move to the next one, question number 8 in this format. Here we go. It's a system designed to establish that a computer user, Rohit has gone for it, was actually a human. Gandhi Mellon worked on it. Yes.
Captcha.
Captchas and recaptchas, give it to you. Absolutely right. Rohit will get another 50. Oh, these are really fast. 1 second, 2 second reactions coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, these are state finalists. So they will be sharp and fast. It also explains the kind of talent Karnataka brings to this country. Superb. As we go to the next one, on your screens now. Initially, it was a product from TCS for small and medium businesses. Satvik's gone for it.
TCS IM.
Well played. Extremely well played. Moving into education, training, and organizing competitive exams. It's one of the largest platforms today in India for competitive exams is TCS ION. These are also players which really ensured the world of technology helped the common man. What would you do if entrance exams were not possible in the last 2 years because of the pandemic? Well, would life have come to a standstill? Would 3 years of students have written exams together? Just imagine the catastrophe that could have happened had technology not come in to help. TCS ION and TCS have played a huge role, especially in the competitive examination space, to ensure life moved on. Well, 50 to Satvik as we neutralize the buzzers and move to the 10th question in this first frontier on your screen as we are whiteboarding with these youngsters. Here it comes. Cooper Systems is a subsidiary of a famous company. Dheeraj has taken a shot at it. Yes, Dheeraj.
Amazon is the answer.
Played. Cooper could well be part of your futures. Very, very important companies in the internet connectivity and the broadband satellite constellation domain. Amazon will give him a 50, which means everyone's beginning to play the game well. I'll show you the scores after the next couple of questions, but I think with that, 2 of them are on 100, 1 on a 50, 1 on 150. But we'll come to the specifics after the next 2 questions. As we move to the next one on your screens. Now, specifically from the world of processors, Ayman.
Floating point unit.
Well played. Well played. Floating point unit is extremely well played. He'll get himself a 50 on that and get himself to 200. He's scoring just when everybody tried getting to him. It's like a marathon. You need to know how to pace yourself. Same with quizzing. As we go to the next one, question number 12. You're watching the state final of TechBytes. Well, the excitement's getting to me. One question, and I'll show you the scores after this one. Here it is. This is an extremely important player. The pandemic really made it popular. Satvik's gone for it, yes?
Discord.
Is correct. Absolutely well answered on that one. Discord it is, which takes him to 100. These are questions that basically, on whiteboarding, tests whether you know what's happening around you in this world. That's the objective of a round like this. It's like collaborative brainstorming that you normally do when you do whiteboarding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're just watching a big final of TCS TechBytes unfold here today with me, Big Brain, as we will take a very quick break. On the other side, we'll show you the scores and move forward with this final. Back in just a moment. Stay with us.
The health of any nation can be checked by the health of its citizens. India's millions had no way to connect to what they needed most: quality healthcare. TCS provided just what the doctor ordered: a bridge. Not an ordinary bridge of steel and cement, a special bridge, built with the magic of technology, an online and real-time, secured, on-the-cloud platform that acted as a bridge used not for vehicles but to save lives. This bridge was a transformative digital platform that connected those in need with the healthcare they needed. Over 120 million people have benefited from it. You might know this bridge as the Ayushman Bharat program, but at TCS, we have another name for it: the Bridge of Hope.
TCS, part of your story.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, watching the state final of TCS TechBytes from Karnataka. On your screen, here is the scorecard flashing. On 200 is Ayman Patel. On 100 apiece, we've got Dheeraj, Satvik, and Rohit, all trying to chase him down. Ayman just ahead. The Kalburgi boy, or the Kalburgi regional champion, is doing well. As we go back into the second format of our game here today, it's time for us to pick action on digital dashboards. Here it is. Digital dashboards is an effort and an initiative from our end to prepare you youngsters to understand business intelligence tools, business intelligence corporations that basically help other companies to transcend from just being good to becoming great. So the objective of this round is to really prepare you for the future with such technologies. The scoring pattern pretty much remains the same. 50 the value, 4 questions lined up for you in this segment. As we start with the first one on your screens now. This is an extremely important entity in the modern world. Is Dheeraj going for it? Yes?
Mozilla VPN.
Again, Dheeraj?
Mozilla VPN.
He's got that absolutely right. He gets a 50. He gets closer and closer to Ayman as he gets 150 after another. He's on to 150 with that. As we go to the next one on your screens now. The world of technology has seen a sea change. Satvik has gone for it.
These are 3D printed.
These are 3D printed. Knee replacement no longer requires other knee materials. All it requires is 3D printing. The future of technology, the future of this world, well, extremely well cracked on that one, gives him a 50. Satvik is also playing extremely well. 2 of them on 150, 1 on 100, 1 on 200. That's how close this state final is becoming. As we go to the next question on our digital dashboard, here it is. This is important.
Tidal.
Ayman off in a flash.
Tidal.
What do you know about Tidal?
It's a music streaming platform recently acquired by Square.
Young Karnataka is well prepared for the future. Superb 50. Ayman is confident and he is extremely fast on the buzzer. Takes him to 250. Just when people got closer to him again, he gets an answer right. He's playing his game well. It's like scoring the sixes when it matters in a T20 game. Question number 4 on your screen. Final one in this round. Here we go. From the digital dashboard of cryptocurrencies, Dheeraj this time off first.
Polkadot.
Yes.
Polkadot.
Can you say that again?
Polkadot cryptocurrency.
Is absolutely right. He's got that perfectly right. Polkadot will give him a plus 50. Well, ladies and gentlemen, through frontiers of battle done here today, and after the 2 frontiers, the battle's only getting tighter. On 250 is Ayman, on 200 is Dheeraj, on 150 is Satvik, on 100 is Rohit. As we move on to the next frontier of our game here today, it's moving fast, as is the tension along with the final of TCS TechBytes. Time for us to test their infographic knowledge. Here it comes. Four questions that basically is going to give you an infographic pattern, pretty much like how you played in your regional rounds with Rashmi. So you got to take a look at the data, put the infographics together, and give me an overall answer. We'll still show you the example for you to correlate how life works. There you are. That's an ever-famous face now in India, a CEO who's really grown this company. Optumera is from them. The Mumbai Marathon is synonymous with them as well as the group they represent. The answer, of course, is Tata Consultancy Services. Examples always tell you how easy your questions will not be. So be prepared. 4 questions in this segment. Overall answer is what matters. As we start with the first one, on your screens, 50 the value. Here it is. Infographics appearing on your screen. Chariot is important. Ayman has gone for it.
CDAC.
CDAC. Would you know how to break it up?
I know that he's Vijay Bhatkar. That's all. On that basis, I went on CDAC.
If you know Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, you are doing very well as a youngster in this country. Superb answer, Ayman. He gets himself a 50. Well, extremely well played. From the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India is CDAC. They offer a whole array of technology solutions to power a nation. Superb. As we go to the next one, Ayman's building himself from strength to strength. As we go to the second question in this round, here we are. All of these, Dheeraj is now taking a shot. Yes, Dheeraj. Your mic.
Is it
Is it?
Alienware?
Alienware. Oh, he took a risk on Alienware. He's got that wrong. The answer that I was looking for is VMware. Well, VMware is what I was looking for. He misfired on that. 50 points going away at a rather crucial juncture for him because he wanted to get closer to Ayman. And I think that brings him down to 150. I'm not sure. But I think it brings him down to 150. So he's still in the race, no doubt about it. Satvik is also right there. But Ayman hasn't put one foot in the wrong place. So that's important to consider. 2 questions still remaining on this round where we basically test your ability to think laterally. Here's the next one on your screen now. This is a very important company. Dheeraj is not giving up. Yes, Dheeraj? Oh, superb. Superbly played. Capgemini is absolutely correct. Frog Sogeti, the man behind Capgemini, Sergey Kempf. Outstanding answer at superb speed from Dheeraj. That takes him to 50 more, which is to 200. After the next question, I'll tell you where the contenders stand because we're going to be left with 1 round in this big final. The final question in this frontier on your screen. Here it is. Not easy. Not easy. Someone's going for it. Dheeraj it is. Yes, Dheeraj.
Is it Real Networks?
Oh, he's taking half chances, is Dheeraj. He loses a 50, but that's the right spirit to play a quiz. You think you know something, give it a shot. Fine, you get some, you don't get some. The answer this time is datamatics. Datamatics is what I was looking for. Lalit Kanodia from the world of datamatics there, making life a little tougher than he thought it would be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one frontier remaining here. You're with me, Big Brain, watching the big state final of TCS TechBytes, a fantastic collaborative property created by the Board of IT Education Standards, Government of Karnataka, and Tata Consultancy Services. For over a decade now, we've seen outstanding engineering students from remarkable institutes battling against each other on a technology frontier. Here's how this year's battle is unfolding. Two of them trying to chase down one player who seems to have moved a little ahead of them. And they are Dheeraj and Satvik, both on 150, as you can see there. Rohit's on 100, but he needs to take a couple more chances to get ahead of the others. Ayman from Kalburgi is playing the game well. He's on 300, and he's really done nothing wrong in this quiz. He's got a distance of 150 from the other, so if he plays the last round well, he can well be the state champion. He would only know that extremely well as we move into the final frontier of our game. He's going to be careful. At the same time, I would believe he would go for it if he knows it. First, the rules of the final round is something he would like to know before we actually start playing the round. Time for us to go into the final frontier of our game here today. It's time to apply design thinking. Here it comes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, India celebrates 75 years of its independence. Design thinking, at the end of the day, is about thinkers who put things in a manner where it becomes like an architectural design for others to follow. This nation has grown leaps and bounds in the technology frontier because of many individuals, institutions, and corporations. As we celebrate 75 years of Indian independence at TCS TechBytes, it is our opportunity to thank and pay a tribute to some remarkable thinkers who have stood the test of time and reflected design thinking in everything that they have contributed. So this round is a tribute to some phenomenal minds this nation is proud of. 2 clues is what you will get on their lives. If you crack it on the first clue, you get a 50. You crack it on the second clue, you get a 50. However, if you get it wrong on the first clue, you are not entitled to attempt the second clue. Only the remaining 5 can do that. So be very careful. 2 opportunities are allowed, and the same contestant can't make the 2 attempts in the same question. The negative continues to be a minus 50. If you are ready, question 1, clue 1 on your screen in the final frontier. Coming up now. I am a Padma Vibhushan. I am an Indian aerospace scientist and a fluid dynamicist, a former professor of aerospace engineering at Indian Institute of Science. I was the director of the National Aerospace Laboratories till 1993. Manjunath has gone for it. Great Indian. Padma Vibhushan.
I'll take a guess. I'll guess Rodhan Narasimha.
Superb. Superb high quality answer from Manjunath on that. Padma Vibhushan recipient Rodham Narasimha. He was also a guest at our rural IT initiative, which we do for school students, along with TCS and the government of Karnataka. A phenomenal gentleman, a design thinker who this nation salutes. Plus 50 to Manjunath. Maybe he's making a late comeback there. As we go to our second question here today, another great Indian. Hands on the buzzer. Clue number 1 on your screen now. I am a Padma Shri recipient. I am a former ISRO technologist who oversaw the launch of Discovery Channel and Animal Planet across Asia. I also led NASSCOM at a critical phase in this country. Great thinker, a great architect of technology. Nobody on the buzzer as we go on to the second clue on your screen now. This great entity is a scientist, technologist, and a change maker in India. Oh, turns out to be a tough one. Nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds of time lapsing. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kiran Karnik. Well, he's also been someone who's come to our quiz shows, the TCS IT Viz that I do for school children in the urban areas. And he was one of my guests in Delhi at a point in time and was completely astonished seeing youngsters and their knowledge of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, the penultimate question here today at the state final of TCS TechBytes. What a final here today. As we begin with the first clue on your screen now. I am a Padma Bhushan recipient who took over from the gentleman on your screen, his name, Vikram Dev Dutt, who led a very important entity in India till very recently. I took over as the chairman from him. Lateral thinking and 2 clues. Here's your second clue. I am the author, Aditya has gone for it, of this book called Digital Nation. Yes.
Satya Nadella.
Satya Nadella is there on your screen. Well, Satya Nadella wrote the introduction to this book. Well, the first clue was a current affairs clue. The immediate former chairman of the biggest news India has had this year, the homecoming of Air India to the Tatas. Well, that is Vikram Dev Dutt, the immediate former chairman of Air India. On your right is the author of Digital Nation and the current chairman of the Tata Group, who's also become the chairman of Air India, N. Chandrasekaran. A technologist, former CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, he really pioneered and powered technology in India in an era when India was only being seen like a back office. And these are people who changed that impression to create design thinkers from this nation who would architect the technology future of the world. Salutations to N. Chandrasekaran for being a phenomenal thinker. Digital Nation is a book you must read post-pandemic. It's actually going to become a very, very important book because it speaks about solving technology's people problem. And it's all about how human lives can be touched through technology. So that's really what's happened over the last 2 years in this world. Final question. Hyman Patel will not touch his buzzer. That's a guess that I can reasonably make. He's smiling. He knows he's really done something remarkable here, and he's not going to push himself any from that 300 where he's so safe and sound. The second place is a huge challenge. It's a battle between 3 people, as I see it. Rohit on 100, Dheeraj on 150, Satvik on 150. Let's see what happens. Final question on your screen now. The first clue would lead you to a fantastic creation from the world of Sony called Rocket. Satvik. Who emerges from this clue?
This is Rocket Boys from Sony.
I need an answer.
Abdul Kalam.
Minus 50.
No,
Oh,
sir.
he did not want to lose a 50 on that. He's lost a 50. Don't answer again. You can give me only one answer. Minus 50 to you on Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. As we go to our second clue here, well, I don't know if Dheeraj is going to press or keep quiet. It's a strategy he'll have to deploy. He's on 150. Here's the second clue on your screen. Google. Aditya's gone for it. Google paid tribute to this great man.
Homi Baba.
Homi Baba, minus 50. Oh, Google did pay a tribute to Homi Baba as well. But, well, Rocket Boys is not so much about Homi Baba as it is, of course, about Vikram Sarabhai. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the world of technology wouldn't be anywhere but for someone like a Vikram Sarabhai, who in fact was the mentor of Dr. Abdul Kalam that Satvik answered. So imagine being someone like Vikram Sarabhai, to be the mentor of a person who's a mentor of 1 billion people. So imagine how important Vikram Sarabhai becomes in this country. I was searching for words to describe him, because how do you look at someone Abdul Kalam sir looked up to? I mean, that is difficult. But ladies and gentlemen, such is the stature, the greatness, and the contributions of some of our amazing Indians to the world of technology. As we salute them and salute India at 75 years of its independence, TCS TechBytes, in a small way, is about nurturing the seeds for the next 25, 50, 75 years. That's the objective. The objective is to celebrate the past, to learn from these great people, but to clearly shape the future. That is the objective that TCS supports. That is the benchmark the Board of IT Education Standards sets. Ladies and gentlemen, on this remarkable state final, let's take a look at the final tally at TCS TechBytes. So it's a really, really close scorecard that you are seeing on your screen. Manjunath Naik finishing with 50. Rohit and Satvik finishing with 100. Satvik could have easily moved on to even win the quiz had he got a couple of questions right this way, that way. Dheeraj is going to say the same thing. He could have won this quiz too. He played a fascinating game, but he finishes runner-up here today with 150 points, and that's a very credible score, given that he took a couple of negatives. Representing KLE from the Belgaum region, Dheeraj Angadi will be our runner-up here today. But ladies and gentlemen, with confidence, clarity, and enormous amount of calmness, our champion for the state edition in the 2022 version of TCS TechBytes, representing the BLD College of Engineering, is Ayman Patil. Congratulations to you on emerging the state champion. Superbly played. Superbly played. He was calm. He really knew what he was saying. And when he answered, he was supremely fast. He was really quick and fast. He was almost off the blocks like a Usain Bolt would in a race. That's the speed at which he went for his buzzers, which means you need to be backed with a lot of preparation and confidence to show that kind of speed. In life, your confidence is always directly proportional to how prepared you are. Keep that in mind as a takeaway as we celebrate technology at TechBytes, technologists in India. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of that remarkable quiz, what a final it was. At the end of the day, the young boy Ayman from the Kalburgi region emerges the state champion. But none of this would really be possible without the support of Tata Consultancy Services, which has ever so consistently been part of patronizing knowledge platforms such as this. TechBytes, of course, has been a benchmark in engineering college quizzing in Karnataka. And one person who's always been a support, always found the time for us when we requested his time, truly been a patron of such learning platforms, the operations head of Tata Consultancy Services Bangalore, a young leader in the Tata fraternity. Truly our pleasure and privilege to welcome Mr. Sunil Deshpande. Over to you, Sunil.
Thank you, Giri. We have just witnessed an exciting state finals of TCS TechBytes, a program that ignites curiosity and prompts students to discover how technology is transforming the world. Technology has impacted every fabric of our lives during the pandemic, be it education, healthcare, or managing a global workforce. The performance of students at TCS TechBytes validates our belief that we have an extremely talented pipeline, and we hope to see a lot of innovative solutions from you in the years ahead. All the 6 regional rounds of TCS TechBytes were conducted across Karnataka in Hubballi, Kalburgi, Mysuru, Mangaluru, Tumkuru, and Bangalore. Very, very keenly contested. Our sincere appreciation to the Board of IT Education Standards for their support in making the 13th edition of this program a roaring success. It's the award time now. This year's State Runner-Up Award is backed by Dheeraj Danesh Angadi from KLE Dr. M.S. Sheshagiri College of Engineering and Technology, Belgavi. A truly commendable performance indeed. He wins a TCS Education Scholarship of rupees 50,000. Congratulations. And now, amidst a huge round of applause, it's indeed my privilege to announce the state champion of TCS TechBytes 2022. It's Ayman Patel from BLDEA College of Engineering and Technology, Vijayapur, for a fantastic performance. Ayman takes home a TCS Education Scholarship of rupees 85,000. Hearty congratulations to you. Once again, congratulations to all the finalists and participants of the program. Keep learning, keep growing, stay safe, and all the very best.
Thank you, Sunil, as always, for being there, for doing the honors, and for being with us whenever we request your presence and patronage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bytes has really been the entity that has driven this quiz as a concept, driven this quiz as a platform for learning outside their classrooms for students of engineering across Karnataka. It is my pleasure and privilege to request the chairman of Bytes, who's also the vice chancellor of the Dayanand Sagar University, to come on and share a few words and his thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. K.N. Balasubramanya Murthy, better known as KNB Murthy. Dr. Murthy, can I request you to please share your thoughts?
Namaste. Thanks for inviting me to be a part of this award function. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the winner and runner-up of this prestigious quiz event. Secondly, compliments to the participants in these finals who are already winners at the regional rounds. The Board for IT Education Standards and Tata Consultancy Services came together in the year 2010 to initiate the IT quiz program, namely TCS TechBytes, for engineering students in Karnataka. The program is an initiative to encourage engineering students to keep pace with the evolving technology landscape and to enhance their lateral thinking. TCS TechBytes 2022 is the 13th edition of the program. In view of the prevailing pandemic situation and safety of students, the program has been conducted in virtual mode, which attracted participation from more than 100 engineering colleges across the state of Karnataka. To succeed in a quiz competition like this, the participants must develop the skills of seeing connections across domains, keeping track of technology trends, and the speed of response. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the efforts of TCS team, particularly Madam Shobha Murthy and Madam Jyoti from Bytes for successful conduction of this event. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge the efforts of Quizmaster who made the quizzing experience awesome and memorable for all the participants. Finally, I wish each one of you best of luck in the future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Murthy, and congratulations to the entire Bytes team for creating such a beautiful learning property. Ladies and gentlemen, on this momentous occasion of a state final, 75 years of Indian independence being celebrated, it is our pleasure and privilege to bring to all of you youngsters watching this wonderful quiz a great learner, a great teacher, a great youth interactor to speak to you on this occasion. He is an authority when it comes to aerospace engineering and for excellence in his domain. He is one of the leading researchers, not just in India, but across the world in hypersonic aero thermodynamics. He's also an exponent of shockwave propagation and has 25 patents on various discoveries related to shock waves and hypersonic flow control. He's currently the president of the International Shockwaves Institute. He is also a fellow of the prestigious Royal Aeronautical Society from the United Kingdom. He plays a pivotal role in all these areas related to space, defense, and terrestrial applications of these fields. Most importantly, to the context of a quiz like this, he has passionately and actively been involved with Bytes over the last decade plus. He's bestowed upon with several awards. He's extremely passionate about the youth and spreading scientific temper, especially with rural children. He's interacted with over 500,000 children and students across India to date. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's our pleasure and privilege to request our chief guest here today, Professor Gopalan Jagadish, the Department of Aero Engineering or Aerospace Engineering, founder chairman of the Center of Excellence in Hypersonics at the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Jagdishan. Over to you, Prof.
Respected dignitaries and my dear friends, greetings to all of you from Indian Institute of Science. At the outset, let me take the opportunity to congratulate all the winners of this Bytes, TCS Bytes quiz. In fact, every participant in this quiz program, according to me, is a winner, because the thought that one has to participate in programs like this itself, to me, a wonderful feeling, because it is the thoughts which eventually become words, and the words lead to actions. Then the actions become your habit. Habit basically decides your character. Character dictates your destiny. In that sense, participating in these kind of innovative program where your mind is continuously charged to look at the unknown, to learn and find out the unknown, and that quest for trying to get into territories which are unknown is a very special feeling. In fact, TCS has been wonderful in trying to provide support to Bytes in this entire exercise. This, I am told, is the 13th edition of the quiz, and it's a very long process, and it's not very easy. There are a lot of people who have helped us in the backdrop, and I am sure organizing something like this during a pandemic is not a very easy task. And the regional, finals were held at several zones, I am told, both Bangalore, Gulbarga, in Kalburgi, then again Mysore, and also in Tumkur, Bangalore, Hubballi. It's not an easy task. Large number of students have participated in this. And also, having been associated with Bytes for so long now, I know that this is the most sought after kind of an event in the entire student fraternity, in the engineering colleges, and also in the other allied areas in the state of Karnataka. And let me once again congratulate all the regional winners as well as the final winners who have actually going home with all the accolades. But people who don't get recognized or who couldn't make it, please don't feel bad, because failure is always a fertilizer for success. And I am sure you would have been enriched by the very fact that you have participated in such a wonderful event, especially the quiz master and the level of quiz I'm aware is always very, very competitive, and it is not very easy to win prizes in events like this. And quizzing is a wonderful feeling, because people usually go after the unknown, and this is a very essence of scientific pursuit. And you're living in a wonderful era in the history of the world where a lot of disruptions are taking place every day. In fact, 2022 has begun with the successful demonstration of nuclear fusion for the first time. We have also had a patient who had AIDS being cured. The entire human genome now has been mapped within a matter of few hours. And I think a lot of things are going to happen in this exciting period. IT has really become an inevitable part of all branches of engineering. And knowing the latest in this field is always the right way to keep abreast of the kind of technology and scientific advances that are going to be seen and felt by the next generation. So once again, let me all congratulate everybody, and also wish all the organizers of this quiz program a huge thanks on the behalf of Bytes, because it is not very easy. And I am sure that this program is going to continue for many more years to come. and really become a very nice epitome of inspiration to the student fraternity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor, for those profound words. Indeed humbling to have someone like you at a final like this. I'm sure the students would have liked to see you physically on a stage environment, but we'll get there once it is way safer than how safe it is currently. Ladies and gentlemen, to all of you from me, Big Brain, from all of us here, on behalf of the Board of IT Education Standards, Government of Karnataka, Tata Consultancy Services, my young colleague Rashmi Furtado, and all of the members of the crew for pulling this off digitally yet again. Till we meet in 2023, from me, Big Brain, it's goodbye, good luck, stay safe. Thank you for tuning in.